Okay. Are we live? Are we live and alive? Guys, I'm nervous. I got roasted online. All right. Sick. Hi, YouTube. Hi, Twitch. How's it going? Hello, hello. All right, let me do a little announce. Why are you guys so little? You so small. There you go. You're bigger now. Claiming the space you belong. Hello. Hi, guys. Oh, Etsy, thank you so much for the 16 months. Or sorry, thank you so much for the 47 months. Dude, I can't read. Thank you so much. That's so nice. Thank you, thank you. I hope you guys are having a good morning. We're gonna we're gonna just do a little chill stream today. We're gonna so someone on the Discord tagged me that I got quote unquote roasted by another YouTuber. I don't really know where this is going. Um But yeah. Honestly, gotta say, it's the Sylvan guy, the Vimothy Chalamet, as Prime said. Um yeah, I gotta say, good solid strategy on his part. Good stuff. Junius, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. How you guys doing? Guys, I had a great little holiday, a little break from being on the internet, and it reminded me how nice it is to touch grass. Let's be so real. But yeah, oh my god, I hope you guys are okay. Sorry, I am not used to wearing headphones. Are you okay? I'm sorry for your ears. Oh, I have once again neglected YouTube chat. What's up, YouTube? What's up? What's up? All right, there we go. What is up? Debjeet, Baradone, Secris, Chris, Lycanto, Yusuf, Josh, Maxime. What's up? Hello. Thank you. Thank you for talking about Emacs in a video. I've been using it as a second brain and code editor. Best decision of my life, dude. I'm with you. I love Emacs. There's a Discord? There is a Discord. Wait, hello? I should actually add it to the description of my live streams on YouTube. Hold on, let me there we go. There we go. There we go. Here for the drama? Dude, I'm so nervous. I avoid drama like the plague, so but we'll see. Drama has come to my doorstep. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at Sylvan's see, okay, so I see the name Sylvan, but I can't. I feel like it should be Sylvain. You know, I feel like it's a French name. So maybe we'll call him Sylvain or Vimothy Chalamet. Um yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, we're gonna watch his thing, and then we're gonna take a look at Omarchy, or I think that's how you say it, but I watched 1 second of it, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you say it. So we'll see. What drama? What is happening? I apparently got roasted. We'll see. We'll see how we go. But yeah, that's the drama. Yeah. Oh, so Omarchy is DHH's new take on a Linux distro, if I am not mistaken. Let's see. Let me double check. Opinionated Arch and Hyperland setup. So, whatever that means. I mean, actually, I'll take a look at the GitHub. Omarchy is pretty sick. I know. Well, you guys were asking me to take a look at it, so I was like, okay, let me check that out. Let's see, let's see. Okay, so it says turn a fresh Arch installation into a fully configured, beautiful, and modern web development system based on Hyperland by running a single command. Oh, that's pretty sick. I gotta say, that's sounding pretty good already. That's the one-line pitch for Omarchy, like it was for Omakub. No need to write bespoke configs for every essential tool just to get started, or to be up on all the latest command line tools. Omarchy is an opinionated take on what Linux can be at its best. Wait, okay, that's a spicy line. Just drop it. He's like, mic drop? Bye, bitch. I'm out. Done. Omar, what? You're considering moving away from Mac OS because of Omarchy? Dude. Oh, how's the Nix OS journey going? It's pretty good. I gotta figure out what I want to like, it's actually made me sick of my current setup on this machine because like the text is so tiny. And I'm like, why did I do this? Why have I done this to myself? So, and I don't want to change anything on this setup because I'm like, what's the point? I'll just use Nix OS. But then anyway, I gotta get my life together. Gotta get it together. Big time. You're on Nix OS. I installed it on my old ThinkPad and I got like Sway window manager going and all this stuff. It's been really sick. It's been really sick. Don't worry, my dot files are not going to, they're not going to Nix. I'm not Nixifying my dotties. But I will say having a configuration.nix file for just your entire system is pretty pog, I will say. I like how all of this was brought on by just like how shitty it is to install and use Python programs. This all stemmed from that. I was like, this sucks. And then I realized I could have just used Nix shell the whole time. Is this in reference to the Vimothy video? Yeah, I have not seen it yet. This is gonna be the first. You guys are getting like actually first time I'm seeing any of it. So I'm like, yeah, I was like, well, whatever. We'll save it for stream. You guys can be shocked with me. Don't you like Mac OS? It's okay. It's okay. I mean, Mac is good because things just work. But honestly, I find I would okay. Super nerdy and whatever of me. But like, dude, I do really miss having a keyboard workflow when I'm on Mac OS. And no, I don't want to have all of my applications full screened and like command tab through them. I don't like doing that. I like my tiling window manager and I like that is like the old, it's like you can't do that. They have not done that well on Mac OS. There's no good tiling window managers on Mac. Yeah, I'd say otherwise it's pretty decent. Like the only beef I've had with Mac as a developer was like it was a pain in the ass to get my GPG keys set up when I initially set up my machine because you have to get like the pin entry package and yada yada. I don't remember why it wasn't working for forever. Like I don't remember why it was so annoying, but I remember it being notably annoying. But this time, like nowadays, I'm probably just gonna be signing my commits, my git commits with SSH anyway, so we don't really need that anymore. But yeah. Yo, Beckler, I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great day at work. Thank you, thank you. I started using Pop OS first time by seeing you. Yo, let's go. Pop is great. Pop is really fantastic. Stony, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you, thank you. What do you think of Odyssey? Oh, bro, wait. Oh, this is like the YouTube alternative, right? You know what? I think I've looked at it before, but I haven't posted anything there. I think TJ posts his videos there. If I recall correctly, I was kind of like, what is this thing? And then I poked around a little bit and then I wasn't sure. Should I be posting on there? Do you guys use Odyssey? Who uses Odyssey? Give me a 1 in any chat. In any chat that you're in. Give me a 1 if you use Odyssey. And if I should post there. I feel like I'm the only arch dude here. We can't hear you. Your audio's broken. We can't hear you. Arch user? Saying nothing in the group chat. Zara, thank you so much for the 14 months. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Yay, let's get some work done. We're kind of sort of just watching videos together today, but we'll be doing I will have everything organized next week. I'll have things organized next week so we can do some coding, but I believe in you. I just learned how to set up SSH for Git for the first time. Yo, let's go. Nice, nice. First time I hear it, you guys have no idea that Odyssey existed. I know. That's the thing is I'm like, is it worth the extra effort of me posting to the over there? Okay, well there's at least 2 ones, so maybe I'll just do it anyway. I'll get at least hopefully 2 views on there. We'll see. All right. The focus with me title was a lie. Wait, did I not update the title? Wait, hello? Fudge. What the heck? Oh, wait. Dang. Okay. Sorry. What the heck? That is so weird. I changed it before stream. Because I copied the YouTube title from my Twitch title. Oh, yeah, see? And it... Get your popcorn, we're watching nerd YouTube. Yeah, what the heck? That's weird. Anyway. Sorry. Yeah, notification was right. Sorry, guys. Idiota Alpha. Yo, what's up, Alpha? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Sorry, Sarah. Yeah. We'll do some other kinds of streams. Yeah, interesting about Odyssey. I didn't know there were actual Odyssey users. I've never seen one in the wild, so hey. What's up? All right, let's do let's I guess take a look at let's watch me get roasted, I suppose. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream today because I'm just gonna kind of watch these 2 videos and then dip out because your girl has so much to do. Got so many things to do. And I need to get my coding projects organized enough to a point where I have something I can do on stream. Oh, nice. If you don't want to upload all your videos manually, you can link your YouTube channel. All your videos get mirrored automatically to Odyssey. I will look into that. We'll see. All right, you guys. Do you want to see me get roasted? I'm nervous. Okay. Nick, thank you so much for the 11 months. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, okay. Are you guys prepared? I'm like not prepared for this. Okay.
Does bashbunni know about bread on penguins? And like, do they think
Oh,
about
wait.
each other? And I always wonder if YouTubers in a certain niche know about each other and think about each other. Like, does the Primogen know about Luke Smith, or does bashbunni know about bread on penguins?
I do know about bread on penguins. I like bread on penguins. I have her on my channel. Hold on. You guys, I do this because finding anything... Okay, wait. Hold on. Finding anything relevant, like finding new channels on YouTube is actually really hard. I feel like I'll get recommended... Sometimes I'll get recommended like a good piece of content that I find interesting, but like sometimes I want to watch somebody and then see other channels that are just like that one. You know? Like other people's takes on that. And pretty much the only way that I've found channels like that is when like one of them has reacted to the other person's. Usually it's like a smaller YouTuber will react to like the larger YouTuber's content or like something, some drama, whatever. But yeah, literally I have bread on penguins here. Look, I have all these like, I created this little list of other channels that I think are cool. And you know your girl's adding some cool females in the space. Leading with the girlies, dude. This Kai Lentit guy, his username I think was like programmers are also human. Freaking kills me. Have you guys seen his videos? He kills me. He's so funny. And then obviously the friends. The friends. Am I copying his video? No. No, we're taking a look at it. We're taking a look. All right. I'm nervous.
And like, do they think about each other? And like, what are the behind the scenes? What does it all look like, for the people who are making the content? I always thought it would also be funny to kind of just break the fourth wall as a content creator and like go outside of just talking about tutorials, which some people do on podcasts and stuff. But what if you just like completely acknowledged that you are also just a person and you also watch YouTube, and you know about all this stuff? And I guess be the change you want to see.
I feel, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I think he's just making this video because it's like, okay, I don't know him. So, I'm guessing this based on like YouTuber mentality. I think he's making this video just because then it like gets all the people who watch any of the YouTubers that are in the thumbnail are gonna like tag that YouTuber to get them to react to it exactly like I'm doing. You're loud, he's quiet. Okay, okay. I turned up my volume earlier. I'll turn him up a bit. Okay.
See, my mom would always say, Sylvan, get off Pixel Gun 3D and go outside. I definitely heard the change you want to see quote somewhere else on the internet. So I'm going to go through
Oh,
all
wait,
the
it's 36
YouTubers
minutes?
that
Hold
I
on.
watch regularly to infrequently, or that have had some mark on me in some way. And I'll talk about the behind the scenes, what I think of it all, what I think these other people are likely getting, what YouTube is like, all of that stuff. And yeah, hopefully you'll find some new YouTubers maybe to watch and maybe learn some things
Okay,
about
wait, that's
ones
actually
you
cool.
already know about.
He's being
And yeah,
cool.
get a lot of my opinion. No better way to get canceled quickly than target everyone at once. So I have a list here, and let me just make sure I'm recording because that would be embarrassing. Yeah. So first up, Luke Smith. Obviously pretty
I
notable for
haven't
my
seen Luke
channel because I
Smith.
have a lot of similar, very cynical opinions. If you don't know, this guy is kind of a Unix or like Linux. He's a free software philosopher kind of guy that walks around the woods. He used to do a lot more Linux tutorials for dmenu and Arch Linux and stuff, and Vim back in the day, but he kind of moved away from that to just talk about philosophy and cryptocurrencies and yeah, the way the modern world is. And this guy he's a controversial figure. There's some great
I do have to say, Luke Smith wearing a suit in the woods is pretty interesting. I'm intrigued.
things about him. Like his tutorials are world class, and I take a lot of inspiration out of his Vim stuff. It's like no nonsense, no intros, no anything you don't want to see. You just go right in and you deliver on what you said you would deliver on. You do the tutorial, and he's like so averse to sponsorships and any kind of bloat and like, hi guys, welcome back. I'm a content creator, and
Oh man, okay. Okay. I personally I don't think there's anything wrong with ads for creators. I've seen this like I saw that take from actually Bread on Penguins recently when I was like watching her videos. Um I guess I should say yeah. Um I like they were very against sponsorships, and I know that the what's his name? Louis Rossman or something. He also is like very against sponsorships, but like I kind of don't get the big deal. Like you get ads everywhere. I don't see what the problem is if it's like coming from whether it's coming from a creator or a platform that's giving you ads. Like I will say I do think that it's important that creators are like mindful of who they collaborate with because it does create like a certain tie of you and your reputation. Like you kind of lend some of the trust because you're endorsing it publicly, you know? Um so yeah, so I think it's like pretty important that you understand that like people trust your advice and opinions online, and so it's important to like be mindful about like what companies you are working with and make sure that it's not just you and the company that are getting the best deal out of that partnership, but like ultimately I think your audience needs to be like top of the pyramid of like priority number 1 is that the audience will give a shit, you know? What do you guys think? Only problem I have with reviews is where they're sponsored to review a product. Interesting. Yeah, like where you think there might be bias. I mean, for what it's worth, like I did a sponsored video with Autonomous, but I reached out to them because I was already planning on featuring it in my review, and I was just like, here's what I'm going to say about your product, and they're like, cool. Like it wasn't they weren't like, "Oh, make it all positive," or like, "Oh, change this or that." You know what I mean? Yeah, this is I think the Shure MV7. M7V, MV7. Okay, okay. So he isn't against sponsorship. He's against selling out his viewers. He gets shady stuff all the time that is anti-consumer. He's endorsed companies and products that he likes. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that. I get that. All right, back to the roasting.
He's just like very red pilled and cynical about the whole way of the world. And this guy was very influential for me, like to because I had kind of always felt a little bit like I'm a very cynical guy, but this is like he's just a guy on YouTube talking about how the way the world sucks now, and great YouTuber for that. The only thing I will say is he's very conservative, and you get it here and there in snippets, and it's not especially hard because he's very like libertarian and talks about all this technology. And if you watch him, you're kind of a nerd, and you go any deeper, you find his like PeerTube or anything or some of his blogs. He said some very problematic stuff, and there's also like a lot of like what's it called? There's been like Confederate flags in the backgrounds of his props and stuff. He's like a very traditional, and he's very Christian too. He kind of went off the deep end with that. And yeah, I don't want to make this entire video about politics because it would take forever, and there's like
For
an
what it's
endless amount to
worth,
talk about there. But
for what it's worth, I think it's like a lot of people find that they can become very successful online if they like lean in hard in whatever opinions or convictions they might have. Often like you'll see creators almost like exaggerate that or like dive even deeper down those rabbit holes purely because it can like get more it kind of gets you more clicks the more kind of like black and white you try and make yourself seem. That said, like obviously I don't know the guy. I don't know if, but like yeah, it can kind of be like a reinforcing cycle as well, where like you can kind of feel like oh I must be right because all these people agree with me, and then like double triple down on things. Yeah, the echo chamber effect for real. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is I look past all of that stuff because I think some of what he's saying is really good, but don't take everything this guy says as like the truth. Let me get some better lighting actually. Oh, that light is not plugged in. Whatever. Don't take everything that guy says as like cold, hard fact. Because even though he has some great points and he has some great opinions and he's clearly thought a lot about the world, there are other ways to look at things. And just like to give a brief political example, right? I would consider myself very libertarian, and I really like the idea that the government is kind of it's important.
I want to say next. Let's go to bread on penguins.
Rose to popularity around the time I wasn't really on YouTube, so I don't have a very like deep connection to her like I do with Luke Smith. But I've watched a good amount of her videos, as you can see. Luke Smith, like in terms of values, I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but as far as I know, like as far as I've listened to her, she seems more liberal, but also very libertarian, very privacy focused. So this is a great channel. I think she's very based and does a lot more on the Linux side than on the Vim side. But you can see she does have a I'll say a couple other things about her too. She's very smart with what she's doing with her style here. Like you can see her style is very unique. Like look at all these like kind of warm gradient colors and kind of forest.
I will say bread's aesthetic it reminds me very much of like Groovebox. You know, just joined. Is he roasting her? Not yet. We're not at me yet, but he's roasting bread on penguins.
Themes, but she's also not afraid at all to switch her style up. So you can see like this is a very intelligent person here behind this channel, which is obvious if you watch her. But this is a very good channel, and she's also very like aware and interacts with her audience in a great
Honestly,
way.
I think okay, so far I don't know yet, but like so far it seems like the type like this roasting Vim YouTuber is just like it's not like kind of clickbait. It seems like so far everything's positive, but we'll see.
One thing I will mention to her, I don't know if she'll ever see this because she seems like too based to go on YouTube. I don't want to like criticize anyone. I just want to frame things as like pieces of constructive criticism. I guess sounds corporate and wrong,
Oh,
but that's exactly what it means. That's exactly
unsolicited
the
advice.
meaning I want to. I don't know.
Damn
You get
it.
what I'm
Sorry
saying, I
guys. I
think.
keep hitting the mic.
Basically, my one critique of her is she doesn't edit at all, kind of like Luke Smith, and at least as far as I know, she may have started editing a little more. And the kind of Luke Smith based like thing is like, who needs to edit? That's very kind of other YouTuber that's not based like I am. That's very like content farmy. And just I sit down and I say everything I need to, and I don't need to edit because I don't have like a fluffy script or anything that I don't need to cut out white space. It's all go go go. Good content. And for the most part, she pulls this off. I would say 95% of the time. But there is time where she's like saying a couple too many times. And I think this could have been just cut. And I really don't mind watching cuts when I see YouTubers, even if it's like a little unnatural and jarring. I think it's kind of a nice lo-fi aesthetic versus like smooth cuts. You know, it's kind of a nice, you can see the thought process behind it. But that's a very small gripe. Great channel overall. She's very based and also plays the fiddle like I do, which is awesome. And yeah, I'd love to
Roasted.
collaborate with you
Oh
one day if you're
shit.
watching. But I know you're also a very kind of independent, privacy focused YouTuber. So
Yeah, I really like Bread on Penguins videos. I watch like almost all of them. I actually don't agree, dude, about the editing. I think that everyone has their own style. And like even when I feel like my favorite creators often don't have a ton of edits. It's like, okay, I've got like two different kinds. Either it's like kind of more like long form podcast kind of vibe where it's just not there aren't really there's not a ton of things that really like pop up or you know it doesn't seem very edited. Um but then it's either that or I'm watching something where it's like really artistic and they've done something. It's like their editing process is almost like art. Do you know what I mean? Where like okay, who's somebody that I was watching recently? Um okay, there's this girl, Caro Crafts. If you look them up on YouTube, they're like an art creator. Um but their editing style is so good. Caro Crafts. Um the editing style is so good and I think it like helps add more personality like for the to and like it kind of helps reinforce a brand as well. But I think in Bread's case, like I think that part of the brand is the fact that it's so like kind of off the cuff, like some it's very simple. Um it's not like she's got shit to say and that's it. I think that's cool. I think it's
that's
fine.
cool. And again about
Okay.
the like editing things, I know
Oh
you
my
say
god,
you
I'm
make
up
major
next. I'm
cuts,
scared.
but like I wouldn't shy away from cutting. Like you barely have to make cuts. Like I barely edit. I spend 5 minutes editing, but it can really help to just cut out
Can't
pauses
relate.
that are a little
I
incoherent.
sp- I spent so
And
much
I've
time
just found it's
editing.
made my content a lot better, and it could improve yours too. And keep doing what you're doing. It's succeeding. But yeah, that's just my subtle opinion, I guess. And then let's go on to Bash Bunny. This is
Oh
an interesting
god.
one. So Bash Bunny is a YouTuber like I don't watch hugely. Like I've seen maybe two or three of her videos through. First of all, because she uses Emacs, I think, which is absolutely despicable. But yeah, I think Bash Bunny has some great, like, very deep dive content, and is like great for being a contributor to
I'm nervous. I'm actually
open
my
source
heart is
projects, and
racing.
has some very solid content. There are a couple of things though that I find kind of I'm getting onto criticism already. Sorry, but um, like
It's the
very
Emacs.
niche. What's in my bag as a developer? I'm sorry, I really don't care. That kind of like I guess the world does need YouTubers to make that kind of thing because there are people that are interested in that, but I find that so useless and surface level because it's been done so many times before.
Okay, I will say there's a big part of my content that I'm trying to like there's a balance that I've been trying to strike on YouTube for quite a while. Um because the kind of thing that a lot of men are watching on YouTube in the tech space is different than what women are watching in the tech space on YouTube. So like what I have been trying to do with my channel is create content that I would want to watch. Um and that I know that a lot more like kind of women would be interested in as well. If I just do technical content, like women are not going to watch my channel. Um yeah, so like I want to take a different approach to like tech content creation. So personally, I actually really like kind of rotating through more like candid, like lighthearted content that's just like, you know, who cares what programming font you use? But like sometimes it's fun to like sometimes you're just curious about what other people are using and maybe like, I don't know. Like it's does it really matter? Not really. Is it something super technical? Not at all. But it's something where as someone who's interested in tech, like you might, after a long week or whatever, it's like a very lighthearted way that might get you excited to like get to go to your computer and like, I don't know, try something new, do a little ricing. Different. Okay.
And yeah, I guess that's there's not a ton of those, but just some of them are. Another thing want to touch on, is the aesthetic here. So she's
I will say the fact that he cut it as like some of them are cut.
the antithesis of what a NeoVim Linux user looks like, which is probably an advantage for her, but also I would imagine she deals with a lot of like weirdos. And before people are
They're
like
all
you
banned on
simp, you like
Twitch.
stop commenting on someone's like
They're
physical
gone already.
appearance. I have a whole other section on that. But first of all, people comment on my physical appearance all the time, so I'm going to do it back. And second of all, I think it's important to
Wait. Okay, wait. Schmid says the hypocrisy. The dude has a hair tutorial. Wait, really? Does he actually? Hold on. Uh, videos. I guess it's probably. Oh, we can't see like. Why I use stimulants plus 20k hair tutorial? Interesting. Yeah, see, like, I have to say, dude, like, I think, okay, I will say, like, he doesn't get some of the content that I create, and like, it's a different demographic. Like, I'm not looking for the Sylvans to be watching my favorite prompts, my favorite fonts for programming. Like, very unimportant video. Who cares? But at the same time, it's fun. Ricing is fun, and people do care. People like that stuff. Setup tour, like, it's just like very, I find personally, like, it's very lighthearted, and it can be like, it's just like nice to watch. I don't know. Different vibe. The fonts are fun. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. All right.
talk about and like grow up. Like, can we not talk about simp you?
Okay.
Like,
Wait.
stop commenting on someone's like physical appearance. I have a whole other section on that. But first of all, people comment on my physical appearance all the time, so I'm going to do it back. And second of all, I think it's important to talk about and like grow up. Like, can we not talk about like I'm not like hitting on her here. I'm like making a very, and I'm not objectifying her either. I'm like, this is like an important talking point in understanding the inner workings of this community. It's not, there is no like intent of anything here. This is
Can I make a harsh comment? You can make any comments you want. Okay. Oh, you guys are asking what ricing is? Ricing is basically, so if you've ever been on r/Unix porn, like all of those little customization and like tweaks to your, like tweaking your Linux distro, tweaking your editor, like making it look a certain way, all of that, like that's called ricing. So like if I was customizing my Linux distro to look a certain way, whatever, I'd say that I was ricing my Linux distro. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay.
not objectifying her either. I'm like, this is like an important talking point in understanding the inner workings of this community. It's not, there is no like intent of anything here. This is purely informative, and like I'm just being, yeah, I don't know. It like makes her stand out in this community pretty shockingly, which I think is interesting. And I'm sorry if you get like a lot of weird comments. I've noticed a couple when I've gone to comment, and people like they're saying like, bro, stop simping. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, this sounds like I'm defending myself and coping really hard here, but when I leave a comment on something like this, if I were to do that to another YouTuber of a similar size who wasn't a girl, then it would not be a problem. You see what I mean? That's like,
Oh, wait, I've never seen comments. I've never seen comments like stop simping when it's from another YouTuber. Maybe I deleted them. I don't know. Sometimes I black out and I just delete all the weird comments. Um, no, but like seriously, I feel like I actually don't get that many weird comments. Like I've actually seen worse on there's another female like programming creator who does more kind of like day in the life stuff. Her name is Jen Cho, and she's someone who I really like her content. I find it just like it's very calming. It's very like, she's very geared around like, her little productivity, a little day in the life, like again, lighthearted things that girls are watching on YouTube. Um, but like she gets some crazy comments. Jen Cho, CHO, and it's two N's for Jen. Um, yeah, she gets some crazy comments sometimes, and like I think well, it's because I'm there early squad. No, just kidding. I'm just on YouTube all the time. Um, but yeah, I think like I don't think I get that many weird comments cuz like I think I'm honestly I think I'm kind of boring to troll. Yes, I love Lori Wired as well. But again, I like okay, I'll watch her videos sometimes, but sometimes I'm like it's not that it's like too technical, but it's like I only have so much mental capacity for things that I'm learning that sometimes I'm just like she's just not covering things that are relevant for me, if that makes sense. You know? But I think she has like amazing camera presence and she's very very good at explaining very complex topics. She's amazing. Ooh, okay. Mockler says, as a dude, I think it'd be really interesting if you made a video about what it's like being a female dev and YouTube in a predominantly male environment. Dude, it might be too like, it might be too dark. I don't know if I'm like, ah, I don't know if I'd be a great person to go off of for that because I'm also like a very, I'm a bit of a paranoid person. Like I'm ironically, given that I like post things online, whatever, I can be very jaded and like distrusting of people, which is like honestly probably a good way to be online. But I think it also like it gives me a bit of a different lens. But yeah, sure, we can try it. We can try it. Sounds dangerous. Yeah. Lori Wired is great. She reminds me of the three blue, one brown, but for comp sci, but it's not the kind of video you can watch in the background. Yes, exactly. So I often have like background videos. That's the kind of stuff I watch more than anything. Um, he has a point. It actually helps. It actually helps you because it makes you different and in some opinions, which is the whole point. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think like one of the hardest things in any space or with any opportunity, whatever, is to like how do you stand out? So, I mean, if you are, that is one thing of like being a minority in any kind of context. It's like, okay, sure, that means that there are like, it means, why are there so many ad breaks on my stream right now, dude? Um, yeah, so like if you're in a minority in any space, sure, it means that there are more eyes on you. Like you are more noticed. That can be for good or bad. And it's kind of up to you and yeah, you gotta kind of learn to roll with that. Like that attention used to make me very uncomfortable when I was younger because I just didn't know how to handle I didn't know how to handle both sides, right? Like sometimes it meant more opportunity, sometimes it meant like more uncomfortable situations, you know? Um yeah, so it's a but like I'd say now especially like you learn how to like take control of those situations and like then it, you don't really have to get that like uh the bad side of it as much as you kind of like grow into it and like understand how people work a bit more. Yeah, sponsor fun. Okay. My only beef with your videos is that a lot of them are 5 minutes, only 5 minutes. I know, I know. I gotta figure out how to like yap more. Holy crap, Bash is online. Time to drop everything else. Let's go, let's go. Talking about weirdos, that's meta of him. Yeah, seriously. Thank you for your approach. It feels so inclusive compared to some of the others. Okay, cool. I'm glad that it's like cuz I'm just trying to create content that like I think is interesting. So I want it to be a blend of like um okay, my goal for content is I want people to I want to evoke some feelings with my content. And usually that means okay, I feel like I've learned something new. So like we'll talk about my Get Work Trees video as an example. Like I feel like I've learned something new and I haven't had to waste a lot of time to learn it. And for me, that's a way that I feel like I can kind of empower my audience in some way or another and like add value for them is okay, I've learned something new in a very short amount of time and now I'm excited to like get back to my computer and try out this new thing that I've learned. Um and then also the more kind of like fun, you know, setup videos and stuff like that, those are more like even i3. Like maybe you haven't heard of i3 before, or you're just curious about my workflow. And because you've seen that new workflow, maybe you're like, okay, I want to try that out for myself and see how it goes. And maybe it improves your workflow, or maybe it doesn't. But at least you're like a little more aware of something else that is out there. And maybe there are like some things that you liked from that workflow that you want to kind of like take and adopt, and then some things that you want to leave. So yeah, I try to kind of mix it up. Okay, why do people want long videos? I like the short and sweet. So again, this is part of why like my content is kind of it's kind of like a mishmash. Like sometimes it's like a 20-minute video, sometimes it's a 3-minute video. It's because like I feel like those are the kinds of I'm trying to create the kinds of things that I enjoy while also like thinking of you guys, like basically how can I get you excited to do to like go code and like just play with computers and just like make it fun, right? Like I feel like one of the worst things that's happened in the last like decade or so is just, or maybe longer than that, maybe less time than that, I don't know. But I feel like unfortunately as developers there's so many things that take us away from that initial like joy of just programming and being curious about computers and just like having it fun, having it be something that you look forward to. Like when you're a kid and you're like trying to figure out how this thing works for the first time, and you know, versus like as an adult and you're now employed and doing it full time, and yet like all that time that you're spending during the week and like using all of your brain power is being like sucked into whatever the company priorities are for you to work on, with software that you may or may not care about. And it can feel really draining. And of course, like, you know, we know developers always are struggling to like not burn themselves out either, because it's so easy for all of that to like suck up so much energy. And then also I think there can, like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like there can also be a sentiment with developers of like, I'm never doing enough, because oftentimes when you're talking to like when you're dealing with management and stuff like that, especially if they're like in non-technical like with a non-technical background, it's like they don't understand the they kind of sometimes can like not understand what they're asked, like the what they're asking for, like the amount of energy and effort that it takes. And there's so much, I feel like there's so many almost like founders that basically have like they can't stay focused on a target, if that makes sense. Like it's like the attention span seems so short in the tech industry because things just move so quickly. And then it's like, ooh, shiny new thing. Ooh, shiny new thing. And then like the amount of pressure that puts on developers to like, oh, we're pivoting again, by the way, you know, before you feel like you've been able to really like I maybe get to the part of the project that feeds you, or like, I don't know, whatever. So that's kind of the what I'm aiming to do with my content, is just to like get people, make coding feel more lighthearted, make it feel like fun, get people excited to just like, you know, code and hang out, and like hopefully provide some moral support when you guys can see me struggling through random little things that I'm learning, you know? That's kind of my goal. If you didn't post about it, where would I have found the 80s NES aesthetic fonts and terminal IDE themes? Genuine life improvement. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Get cool kids are on jujitsu nowadays. I know, dude. I gotta try it. I gotta try it. I 100% will. Okay. Obscura, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I can't blame you. Haven't you mentioned issues with like stalkers or creepers and stuff? Yeah. So yeah, so I'm like a very jaded girly. Um, did I miss something? Hold on. Obscura, whoa. Thank you for the 10 gifted. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Coding took a competitive turn, and many people want to try things out and not become the best. It ruins their fun. All we need is fun, not competition. Yeah, uh, I think one of the hardest things is that like I think developers it's because it's a, like programming is a creative thing too, right? And for some reason we understand that in a lot of other cases like with design um if you're a designer working at a company like they allow you a certain amount of creative freedom and yet I feel like in tech that can very quickly be stifled and they're like no 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 this is what we want you to do and here's how we want you to do it and it can be like you can be very like boxed in and also be expected to if you are interested in anything that is kind of adjacent like learning new things and like trying to keep up with the tech environment which is really important for like job security in the future and stuff um it for some reason isn't like there isn't a default that like everywhere you work is going to give you a certain amount of hours a week to like just dedicate to personal development, skill development in programming. I don't know why, but I know that this is something that so many people struggle with. And especially when people start to have like kids and like other obligations outside of work that are obviously a higher priority, they don't have like 12 hours to grind out multiple days a week. Like it becomes unsustainable after a while. And then it actually, I think, encourages a tiny bit of ageism as you get further in your career. Like, obviously, assuming that if you're further along in your career, if you have that experience and you are like, 10x dev, then it should, in theory, should be fine. But like, even the people that I know that I think are insane programmers, like, they would still be spending a lot of their free time coding, which I know is like unrealistic at certain points. Shmeed, thank you very much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And Nabla, thank you for the 12 months. Thank you very much. Racing Mars says, I'd also add that as somebody who programs full time for work and also has a hobby outside of work, oh, also as a hobby outside of work, I definitely need some time spent every day doing things that have nothing to do with programming. Spending every waking moment trying to learn or be productive would be awful as much as I love learning. 100%. 100%, dude. I'm a big crafter. I love crafting. I love like being outdoors. I hear you. Please make a jujitsu tutorial as soon as you learn it. I'm very curious about it as well. I will. I will. I feel like IT as a whole is just go, 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 and any downtime is bad. Dude, 100%. It's like, yeah. I think that's the most stressful part about software development is just like that pressure to keep moving at a very, very fast pace. And basically, any signs of weakness, it's like you feel, they will make you feel very replaceable. And I think that that culture needs to change. It's pretty messed up. That's pretty crazy. I'm about 6 years into my programming career and I'm still looking for the passion for coding beyond just doing it for the money. Exactly. Exactly. So, like, that's part of what I'm trying to do here is like, okay, bring back the fun, make it feel like, here are, like, I don't know, just kind of like, this is what excites me about programming. And I'm going to put that out there. And some people are going to resonate with that. And some people might be inspired by that. Some people might not find it interesting. And all of those are fine. For my team, I've implemented planning based on 80% availability with a view that 20% of each dev's time can be used for personal development. Dude, that's so important. Yeah, like skill development within work hours, I think is like it's so important. Otherwise, it can be so detrimental to your career, man. It's just crazy. Yeah. There's this stereotype that's partially true that the 18 to 20-year-olds will work 100-hour weeks, don't have spouses or responsibilities outside of work yet, while 35 plus year olds want work life balance. Yeah, except now the Zoomers are fighting back and saying that they want I think more just honestly, just I think it's like more realistic pay and stuff like that. But definitely work life balance. I know in my generation has been a lot more um, discussed than ever before. I love that. We really need more of the bring back the fun programming content. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm feeling the consequences of not doing skill development during work hours. Dude, 100%. It creeps up fast because the industry moves so fast. And then all of a sudden, like the things that you are really good at and that they need you to be working on at work is like maybe not relevant anymore. Or like it's slowly becoming irrelevant. And then it, like, what are you going to do if you do need to move? And then it's like that constant pressure with like that other voice in your head being like, oh, I'm falling behind, you know? It's a whole thing. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, we'll continue the roast. Okay, wait, I gotta rewind it a tiny bit because I don't remember what he said.
It's not, there is no like intent of anything here. This is purely informative, and like I'm just being, yeah, I don't know. It like makes her stand out in this community pretty shockingly, which I think is interesting. And I'm sorry if you get like a lot of weird comments. I've noticed a couple when I've gone to comment, and people like they're saying like bro stuff simping like it's just so annoying. Like this sounds like I'm defending myself and coping really hard here. But when I leave a comment on something like this, if I were to do that to another YouTuber of a similar size who wasn't a girl, then it would not be a problem. You see what I mean? That's what's probably so hard for her to have to deal with all the time. And it's like annoying for me too. Like, can I not interact with her in a way that's not like I'm trying to make some kind of romantic move? It's just, and like I saw in the comments when I left some comment, I said like I'm gonna keep it creamy, which is my signature phrase, by the way. I'm not that's not. It's designed to be like slightly uncomfortable, but like, and there's like a slight implication of weird stuff, but it's like nothing. I don't know. That was maybe a weird thing to say, but that's just what I say. I say that in
I
real
don't know what
life
he
too.
said.
Oh my God, this sounds so hard. Like I'm coping and defending myself, but I really do stand by this. There is nothing
Keep
like
it
weird
creamy.
at all
Oh.
going on here. Can't I just
Uh
talk normally in someone else's comment section? And other people I notice like saying all this crazy stuff in her comments before they get auto removed is like I can only imagine what she deals with. So yeah, another thing I want to touch on in aesthetics is this next person, Tokisuno.
oh. Okay, we're gonna look at. We'll watch his roast of Prime and TJ as well. That was not very. That was very light. He basically just said he didn't like some of my videos, which is fine. It's not. They're like. So that's very fine. I anticipate most like it's gonna be split. Like some of my, I'm sure some of my audience prefers some of the videos, and some of them will watch anything, and some of them prefer some of the like lighter content, and that's okay.
I think that's awesome. I hugely respect that, and also a Luke Smith person. The Primogen. So the Primogen is maybe the
Wait. Can I anticipate something? Okay, wait. Can I anticipate something? I think he's gonna simp on Prime. That's my bet. That's my bet.
biggest Vim YouTuber, which
Oh, he's so
I think
so
I swing
short.
more to the Linux side of YouTube than I do to the Vim side of YouTube. I don't
Hi, Nix.
love the Vim side of YouTube, and I've of course watched the Primogen because he's like the guy in my niche. And he is kind of funny,
The
and I
guy.
appreciate that he like reacted to my content, which gives me publicity. But my problem with him now is he does
Oh,
so much kind of reaction content and streaming. It's like not people say, oh, he's so funny. He has his moments, right? But I find a lot of his comedy is like laughing at other people.
oh, oh. Ah, what? Jesus Christ. You know what? You know what? Okay, first of all, Prime's a streamer. Like, he's a streamer, like, he was a streamer before he was a YouTuber, I think. Um, so, like, makes sense. Also, wait, do you guys think he was. Okay, wait. Do you guys think he's gonna go, like, ham on Prime? Because Prime's. I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe he's gonna go ham on Prime for like drama farming, and then he was nicer to me because like, what if White Knights? I have seen people defend me on 4chan, and that is power. Okay, I didn't know there was anyone nice on 4chan. I'll stick my 4chaners on you.
People's comedy. And like, why him? Why not just go directly to the source? I guess people like to feel like they're part of a community and like watching something with other people. So I do get that, and he does
He
provide
is
that very well.
roasting.
He also made maybe the best Vim tutorial for setting up NeoVim, and Yeah, and I followed that originally, so I do have to give him props for that. And he is like a big community member, and he has done some great things. Like you check out like this video and other like non-stream reaction content videos. He does some amazing things, and he also has a crazy background story. If you don't know, I'd go research that. And yeah, so very cool guy, but the reaction content and the humor and persona recently has just not been productive for me to watch. And I feel like he pulls in a lot of kind of personalities that are a little bit toxic. I've found in his like I don't know, his stream community and his reactions to my other video are like there's definitely some great people that found me from that, but a lot of them just say things that are kind of surface level and not very constructive or helpful. But
That's like 90% of the internet. Yo, Nick, wait, are you and Hammy together right now? Hey guys, I hope you guys are having a great time. That's so good. That's so good. Damn, dude. I will say, okay, wait. Um, okay, honestly though, I think like his takes with like Prime's audience is like 100% just I think a numbers game. It's so hotel lights off. Uh-oh. Please watch Prime's video reacting this guy teaching Vim to a girl. Dude, I have to post the one. I did actually react to it already. That I have to like actually finish editing it and post about it. Yeah, so I think yes, exactly, Andrew Smith. Maybe he's going more for educational versus entertainment route, 100%. Dude, this guy needs to check out oh my god, wait. I'm gonna blank on his name. Dude, okay, I don't know about you guys. I find it so hard when people make their YouTube profiles like an actual name. It's so much harder for me to remember a name than it is for me to remember like an alias or a handle. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm trying to remember his name. Gavin Freeborn, I think. Did you read his comments below his video? No, I haven't. Wait, like the comments to this video that we're watching? I haven't read any of the comments yet. Um, dude, I need to intro this guy to Gavin Freeborn because that guy is insane. It's so good. He has like such good educational content. Also, it's mostly Emacs content, and I think that would be a good troll. Um, I mean, and also for what it's worth, like, unfortunately, it is the way of the world. Reaction content does the best on YouTube. Like, it just does. Personally, I think I might do a second channel that has like kind of more reaction stuff. Just that's like, I don't know, just like us on stream chatting. It's a little less polished than like the stuff I usually post. Just for the people that, yeah, exactly. Just for the people that like it. And yeah, we'll see. But it is what it is. Like, reaction content just does well. Also, how else are you supposed to post videos every single day? Like, I don't really know. You have to read his own comment below. Okay, wait, we'll save it till after TJ.
Good YouTuber. And TJ, I only want to talk about briefly. Same kind of thing. Like,
oh, only want to talk about briefly. Why?
With his persona.
I will say it is kind of funny that like he talked about me very briefly, but then like the other half of it was him defending that like I'm not simping. I'm not being weird, I swear.
He does that like podcast thing with the stand-up.
For the record, Vimothy Chalamet, we don't think so. Sylvain, we don't think you're being weird. You're always welcome in the comment section, okay? We're welcoming here. You might get okay. I will say, sometimes it is really fun when you catch a stray wild creature of the internet in the comments like that. There was one dude whose username was Batman, and then he just put the most like, oh my god, I love you, you're the best person in the world, you're so beautiful, marry me, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember what it was. And then somebody commented, and they're just, because this guy, yeah, his profile photo was Batman and his username was Batman. And then somebody just commented and they said, focus Batman, Gotham needs you. And I was like, this makes it all worth it.
But the Primogen, I don't really enjoy that podcast because the way they're talking to each other, the humor feels so much more like we're laughing than laughing at funny substantive things.
Oh my god! Wait, this is actually a roast. Dude, I'm glad he didn't roast me like this. I would be in tears. Just kidding. I would summon my 4chan my 4chan army. Dude, that's crazy. Wait, I haven't seen much of the stand-up. I gotta be honest. I have not seen much of the stand-up. Can you guys clip me some of your favorite clips? Do you guys have them on hand? like a freaking deck of cards with your little clip compilations. Nix and I are having the first mod meetup. We're having a serious meeting on how to moderate this chat. Salute. We will submit our plans in 3 business days. Perfect. Amazing. Vous vous ressemblez tellement, on dirait ton frère. Il y a des gens qui disent que Prime et moi, qu'on se ressemble. Comme, ouais. I think if Sylvain has blue eyes, then potentially
And
I could be related to all of the Vim creators.
they're not substantive is such an Orwellian word, but
Yeah, okay, it is crazy. That is kind of a crazy thing to say of like, oh, they're laughing and there's no substance. It's crazy.
you know what I mean? The personalities are more funny because they're laughing rather than funny because they're actually funny for the most part. They do say some really funny stuff occasionally, but that's just what I found recently and why I can't exactly get into that podcast. TJ, though, kind of
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. What the heck? Do you think you. Okay. That's crazy. That's crazy. Vous parlez français? Oui. Oui, je suis bilingue. Je suis franco aussi. Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. One sec. That's crazy to me. I think Prime and TJ are funny, but I'm friends with them, so of course I think they're funny. You know what I mean? Like we're friends because we're funny. We have similar humors, I suppose.
for
I think he. Oops. Hold on. How did I get here? Um, I think this guy needs to read some more of their tweets. I'm really funny on tech Twitter, I swear.
the most part. They do say some really funny stuff occasionally, but that's just what I found recently and why I can't exactly get into that podcast. TJ, though, kind of a slightly similar personality where sometimes I'm like he's a very likable guy, but sometimes I'm like,
Bro, if this guy actually disses TJ, I'm gonna throw hands.
sorry, man, that's just not all that funny.
Shut up!
Which that's
Say what you want about me, but TJ is like literally the nicest person I know.
probably blasphemy to say, but he also he makes like the best deep NeoVim configuration tutorials. Like his tree sitter and setup for stuff like that is just phenomenal. He says some of the best. He has the best information on that. Great YouTube.
But you're not funny though. Rip bozo. Great. Wait, but I'm so confused though. I'm so confused though. I guess okay, so he just doesn't resonate with their humor, which is fine. But like, why would you watch the podcast anyway? Because you're only looking for educational content, but then you're roasting him for not being funny when he has the best educational content on YouTube for NeoVim.
YouTuber all around. Like, ignore my critique of me not really enjoying his type of humor that much. Actually, don't. I stand on that. Okay, now I can close that tab. Let's see what's next. Ben Valek, very interesting YouTuber. This is the guy that got.
Who else do I know? Oh dear. Now I definitely need to put out my reaction video where I say that it's fake. Just fake. Drama. Just kidding. I have a friend who can't joke for life. I'm like only good at riffing. I'm only good at riffing. I'm like not an out of pocket funny person, but I can be very funny. I'm like situationally funny. Do you know what I mean? You're looking cute and pretty as always. Focus, anonymous. Go rice your config. Okay? Don't compliment the streamer.
I want to be known as a guy who can't think of his own ideas and is just cashing in on Fireship's branding. But
what?
Wait. I still watch Fireship actually to this day because even with the AI slop, it's a great like overview, and you just kind of sponsor skip the ending. And Fireship is now fully owned by private equity. If you don't know, that horse is kind of been beaten into the ground. But it's really unfortunate. I used to like really idolize his editing style and everything, but now that I've done it myself, I realize not a ton goes into it. He's very creative that he came up with the branding and the original thing. But now, like, I can see how that could just be fully automated by private equity, and he's absolutely being voice cloned. You can kind of hear it. So it's still a solid source of information, but just know it's been
Dude, I want to voice clone myself. Is what I was like, I don't know what I need to figure out what AI models people are using where they can like create, create a person, recreate a person. Um I need that so I can replicate myself for YouTube. I want like a I want like a Walmart Bash Bunny YouTube channel that's just like my own AI. It's cloning myself.
profit mining for all that it's worth, and it's kind of soulless now. Maybe he comes back to make these videos occasionally, but this one felt very off to me. I would put a lot of money that it was not made by him. And yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing the 100 seconds videos because I like to I don't want to be known as a guy who can't think of his own ideas and is just cashing in on Fireship's branding. But Fireship was a great guy back in the day, and I'm sorry about your mother and like everything that went down. And I
Oh my god, wait, what? Why is his mother in the combo?
are the weird ones. We've got Jake Pappas. He's appeared a couple times on the channel. He has his own channel. I'm not sure how much work he's going to put into it, but if you go subscribe to him, there's a better chance he'll start making his own stuff, and he's kind of funny.
I'm rattled. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little rattled after all the I can't believe he said I can't believe dude. Okay, I just can't. I don't know. I would be the worst drama forming person, you guys. Like, literally, the the only thing that I'm thinking right now with like the Prime and TJ, where he was just like, they're just not funny, and then like, I'm just like, the only thing going on in my head is it's just looping of like, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say anything at all. It's like that. It's supposed to be a roasting video, but like, literally, I'm like, I could never. TJ got the worst one for sure, dude. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. That was weird. It's weird because like it seems like the whole time he wanted more educational content, but then he roasted TJ for not being that funny when he's giving him all of the educational content. I don't know. I don't know. Backlord, thank you very much for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you, thank you. Oh right, you guys were saying I need to see his whatever. If I said anything offensive by accident, I still mean it. So that's brutal if it turns out something here is problematic. Anyway, feel free to skip around. Sorry if I missed anyone or misrepresented anyone. Yeah, you forgot to roast yourself. True. That's true. I think, you know what though, is like genuinely, I think that some of the biggest, like he was the most harsh on some of the biggest creators here. I would assume maybe because he knows they can handle it. But I'm also gonna guess that he doesn't mind if there are like repercussions to that. Like if it summons the fandoms to like come after him because like drama farming is a actual valid way to grow on YouTube, which is insane to me. But yeah, that's cool. He did say content farming from the start. Though yeah, it is. It is, and it's effective because I'm reacting to it right now. All right, let's go to DHH, you guys. Let's do some peaceful Linux nerd chats. Okay, this can fix me. This can fix my rage. Omarchy, let's go. Where's the drama? I need drama. For real. All right, let's do checking out Omarchy. Yeah, it is kind of funny. One sec. Finish the video? ¿Por qué? I skipped through some of it. So I owe you guys a video so badly. 1 month ago is shameful. It's okay. I was trying not to burn out. You know, it is what it is. All right, okay. Omarchy, DHH. I don't really know. I haven't interacted with DHH at all. You missed one roast? I missed a few. I skipped a few. I don't know the other ones that he, like, yeah. I think the rest of them I didn't know. But I knew these first. I skipped half of Luke Smith because I don't know him. Jesus. Interesting. Okay, okay. He roasted me. I don't know you, little bro. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, okay, okay.
To create an absolutely gorgeous and fast system.
Oh wait, I'm paused on your channel. Tony, by the way.
And then
Okay,
Tony,
sure.
by the way, is kind of an honorable mention for me because I don't really watch him because he's like he does very
Oh, nice. You
in-depth
got
install guides for
Nix
Linux, which
OS.
is not something I got into fully. But he's also a great YouTuber, and you can see he's got some humor right here. Installing Linux 2026 edition. He also did offer me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. He did offer me some position at a company. So yeah, I can't.
That's not a roast. All right. Let's redo Omarchy. One time I asked you for video ideas. You asked for video ideas, and I said, "Please, I need content to fall asleep to," and you called me you little shit. Dude, for what it's worth, Andrew, I also have like certain creators where I will like listen to them to fall asleep, and it's just because the cadence of their voice is so soothing, and I don't know why. It just works. Okay.
Omarchy is a modern Linux distribution built on top of Arch Linux and Hyperland, the tiling window manager, to
Ready.
create an absolutely gorgeous and fast system. Primarily for developers or anyone interested in a pro system that takes a little time to learn and to set up, but that will pay dividends
That is a framework computer in the background. I see it.
in terms of speed of use, in terms of fluidity, in terms of simply enjoying your system like nothing else. I came from the Mac. I've tried to bring over the best of that world, combine it with the best of the Linux world, and come up with just something new that taps into all the exciting stuff that's been going on in Linux subcultures for quite a while now. Omarchy looks like nothing else. Unless you've been browsing the R Unix porn forums on Reddit, this is a truly new and unique system for anyone who's been used to commercial operating systems or mainstream Linux distributions like Ubuntu or Fedora. So let me take you for a ride. Let me show you how Omarchy works, and I think you're going to like it. So this is how Omarchy greets you when you've just started up your new installation. As you can
Why is his head so tiny now? It's so small. He's so little. ¿Por qué?
see, it is quite bare. There are no icons to click on. There are no files on the desktop. There's just a beautiful backdrop to the Tokyo Night default theme. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how to start a terminal. So that is super enter. That simply pops up the terminal for you right here. We can do an ls. It has a nice little starship prompt. So if I hop in and out of direct,
I don't like the border, but it looks cool. It looks cool so far. I will say I like it. I like it, but I instinctively I want to rice it already.
directories, I get a little prompt here going, and if I hop into Omarchy, for example, you can see it even shows you the GitHub status. But if I open a browser here on Super B, you'll see that the magic of tiling window managers, it just slides in on the right. And if I hold down Super Shift and I push the
Wait, I really like how he said it to slides in.
little prompt here going, and if I hop into Omarchy, for example, you can see it even shows you the GitHub status. But if I open a browser here on Super B, you'll see that the magic of tiling window managers, it just slides in on the right. And if I hold down Super Shift and I push the arrow key, I can send them back and forth. If I hold down Super J, then I can switch them vertically or horizontally. And of course, I can keep doing this. If I start another terminal on Super Return, I get it right below. If I close things out, it grows.
What keyboard do you think he's using? I like the sound of those switches.
Back to full screen. I can open any other program. For example, on Super T, we have the activity monitor from BTOP. Always a favorite when anyone wants to take a picture of their cool Omarchy desktop. It just looks beautiful when you need to see it. What also looks really beautiful in Omarchy is web applications. We have baked a bunch of them in a beautiful frameless way. If you hit Super A, you get an AI. I use GPT-5. If you hit Super W, that's how you close a window. And if I hit Super Shift A, I get Grok. We have a bunch of different web applications. I also have X here on Super X. Always a bit dangerous opening this in the middle of a video. Now that looked all safe. People getting excited about Rails World 2025. Excellent. What I really like is when you combine these two things together. When you have the TUIs and you have the...
Schmid says, the margins are triggering me. It's wasting space and making the windows non-standard sizes. Pepe hands, no!
web applications just living side by side with none of the chrome, none of the ugliness.
Okay, wait, okay. Blue Bubble says, what? It looks cool, but it's just show. Show me how you built it. How do you show that? Like, I'm gonna be so honest right now. Like, how do you show... It's so freaking hard to, like, actually show coding and have it be meaningful instead of just, like, how do you summarize hours of work programming and make it entertaining for people? This is the story of my life, trying to figure out how to do that. And I don't know. The answer is I don't know.
It's just a beautiful way to do computing because there really aren't a lot of so-called native applications on Omarchy. By far, the majority of things you will do on Omarchy.
Oh, like what you're using to build it. The different tool. Like, okay, fair enough. Go look at some dot files configs.
Will be done through the terminal with the TUIs. It'll be done through web applications. But there are all these ways you can start things with the keyboard. I've shown you Super A to start the AI and Super T to start the activity monitor. But if you're starting any other application, you can also hit Super Space and you will get the launcher. There's a bunch of applications built in by default. For example, Basecamp here. We got Brave, which is the new browser I'm trying out. It's not one of the defaults. Maybe it will be one day. There's a calculator here from GNOME. This is actually one of those native applications. I don't totally love it. I think we're going to use a new calculator in a future version, but that's what's here for right. But what's really neat is that the entire system is controlled through the Omarchy menu. You can either get to the Omarchy menu by clicking up the Omarchy icon up here, and you'll see it, or as you'll see if I hover over it on Super Alt Space, you hop into the menu. And from the menu, you can do everything. You can even hop into the launcher as we had on Super Space, or you can start diving into the submenu. And let me show you a few of them. Learn, for example, is where we have everything lined up for you to explore the system, to learn the system, to learn the individual components. If I hit key bindings here, you will see a nice way of just getting a way of seeing all your key bindings. For example,
I will say I do like the idea of having some kind of like built-in pop-up where you can see all of the available keybinds. Like when I was, I tried out Awesome Window Manager back in the day, and that one was really sick because it did have like little shortcuts, cheat sheet kind of vibe that I think was like, I don't even remember what the key, don't press me on the key, what the key combination was to open it, but it was like built into it was one of the default bindings that it came with, and it was really handy to be able to get situated in the system. It was very good.
If I forgot how to do that terminal, I can just start.
Okay, also when people are saying, you guys are saying if you're looking to make something, you're looking to kind of like make code interesting, talk about the mid or high level design, or even it can, one thing that could be interesting and entertaining is the process when you arrive at a roadblock and how you figure things out. Agreed. Agreed. I like that as well.
Writing it. Oh, it's on super return. But let's keep going here down through the learning. You also have the Omarchy manual. It's a great place to learn about how to set up the system, how you install the system, how you configure.
I do like the idea of having the like manual or help pages or whatever, like very front and center for users. That is one thing that can be kind of annoying sometimes is like, obviously you can always reference like man pages, whatever, in a very consistent way, but like sometimes it can be kind of hard to find help for like specific things you're looking for. Do you know what I mean?
The system. I make quite the effort to ensure that it's always up to date with the latest versions. And if you're feeling more curious about how everything is set up, you can hop back out on the index here with all the manuals for Omicom, and you can read a little bit about the philosophy, the doctrine of how all the Omicom setups and Omarchy is steered from a philosophical perspective. But let's hop back in under Learn and see. You'll also find the Hyperland wiki, which is a great way of learning how to configure your system, what all the variables and key bindings and whatever else is. You have the Arch Linux wiki as well, which is a treasure trove when you're trying to figure out how to install something, especially on more ancient systems. There's a great guide in there on getting up and going on older MacBooks. And as you can see now, I'm not actually using the arrow keys to go back and forth. I'm just typing. And that is one of these magical things about the Omarchy menu. You just start typing the things you want to learn about. I'm here. I want to check out the NeoVim key map bindings. Okay, that's where I am. I'm going to hit Super W. I close it back out. I can hop back into the menu. It's really fast to do it this way.
I don't like Super W to close it. That's very Mac. It feels like very Mac-y. Like, I don't know, maybe it's fine, but I don't know. First impression feels like I'm on a Mac, which is not the vibe.
Now under Capture, you have a few different things for doing screenshots and screen recordings. You can even grab
I hope he's using Flameshot.
a little color picker here. All of these things are also accessible on key bindings. Super K, you'll see all those key bindings. For example, if we're trying to figure out the different ways we can do screenshots, we can just start typing.
Oh, Super Q works as well. Yeah, I think usually for me to close a window, in my i3 at least, is Super Shift Q, which is fine. That'll work.
Here, and you'll see, Control Print is how I start the screenshot of a whole display, and print alone is just a region. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to hit the print button. I'm going to do a little screenshot here, and you'll see it pops up in.
I'm disappointed. I wanted it to be Flameshot. Flameshot is so good. It's the best. I guess this is like, it does look like there's a decent amount of like annotation tools and stuff that you can use, which is very nice. So it'll do. Super Shift Q gets you into trouble on a Mac. I know. Trust me. I have encountered that. Yes. Not good.
Into this nice little editor where we can draw some errors here and point out that the sun is really the most important thing in this picture. You can either escape out if you want to discard it, or just hit return and it'll save to your clipboard and to the file system. Well, let's keep going here and jump into toggles, for example. On toggle, you can toggle the screensaver on and off, whether you want that starting after 2.5 minutes of inactivity. You might want to turn that on if you're on a power strained system or if you're running on battery. It is quite the show. I should actually show you the show. Let me show you the show. Let me show you the sizzle here. You can
Flameshot doesn't work well in Wayland? Dude, no way. Freak. That means it might not work on my new setup with Sway. Yeah, I don't like, I don't like that toggle thing. I think only because it gets users, I don't like when there's like too many ways to do the same thing, you know? Like maybe, I feel like as somebody who is in the generation where they abstracted everything away from users, I want to see how things work. Like, I want to see the lower level option for things. So to me, maybe it would make more sense if you, I guess if you wanted to toggle it, I don't know, maybe it would like open up the file for you at the right line and then you could change it. That's programming. You can solve the same issue 1,000 ways. Yeah, but like, you know what I'm trying to say, don't you? Like, I feel like I personally would prefer it if it just like directed you to the place where you can do that. Oh, those are two different things. What's changing it in the config versus changing it there? Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll let it cook. I'll let them cook.
Exactly. Also started by jumping down to the system menu. And now, isn't this pretty cool? These are all these wonderful different effects out of the Python terminal text effects library. We're simply just playing through all of them. I love looking at this kind of setup. It's just running into terminal and you can stop it at any time on any key, but it is a beautiful addition to the Omarchy setup. But let's keep going through the menu and I will show you everything else that you can set up. As I said, under toggle, you can toggle on and off the top bar. If you're restrained on vertical space, you can turn on and off the idle log, and there's even a night light to get that nice orange glow if you're sitting in front of your computer in the middle of the night. But let's hop in here under style and I will show you themes. Themes are super cool but before I do that, let me actually just open a couple of applications. I'm going to open a browser here and I'm going to open BTOP. And then I'm going to hop back into the style menu under themes and we're going to change themes to something else. Let's actually take something, one of my favorites here, Osaka Jade, and boom, the whole thing simply changes over. Everything is synced together. If I hop in here, I close this out and I hop into a terminal, I'll show you NeoVim is also tied into this setup such that NeoVim is styled with the correct theme.
That theme sync is outstanding. I love that so much. That's sick.
Matches that. We're styling the browser. We're doing it live. That actually required a whole micro fork of Chrome to get it done, but we got it done. Everything is tied together such that these themes will just update everything. Now, if I hop back out and I show you the BTOP, you can also jump directly to this menu by pushing Super Control Shift Space, and you will get that. And we can do a light theme, for example, here on Rose Pine. That's kind of neat. You see the backgrounds here, a bunch of different backgrounds. If
put your sunglasses on, it's getting bright in here.
You hit Control Super Space, you can cycle through them. On most of the themes, we have a handful of backgrounds. Not on all of them. We will soon have that as well. But on some of these themes, look at that Omarchy on the background. Let me hop over on another theme here. We have two of the white ones, or light ones, I should say. Cappuccino Latte. We have some beautiful green ones. Everforest here, for example. Nice moody one. What else do we have? We have a really cool Ristretto brown.
Okay, I love that. I love how much emphasis he's put on aesthetic. I will say, so far, I think this is like I could see this being a really, really, really good entry point for people who are, like Mac OS users always, forever, and they want to jump to Linux without having to really like do a ton of setup, do a ton of ricing, do a ton of like, it all just kind of works. That's pretty huge. On Arch too? Well, never heard of it. Just kidding. I have to roast Arch users and Rust users at any given opportunity.
Theme that I really like. Let me actually show you it with the browser here. It's neat to see that just altering at the same time. I'm really proud of it because it required this micro fork and that wasn't easy to do, but we have it set up. Nord is also a nice favorite here. It also has a nice alternate background. So that's the themes, but you can change more than just the themes. If we hop back into the menu, we hop down to style, you can also change the font. I have a few extras installed here, but by default, we also installed the JetBrains monofold, for example. It is quite a popular one, as you see. Subtle, but it changed. Now you're into the menu, and this is running the JetBrains font. I actually prefer the Cascadia Mono that I run for everything, so let's hop back to that. But you can hop back and forth between these fonts super easily. You can also style your own screensaver here. If we hop into this and you want to put in your own ASCII art, if you change this file and you save out, by the way, that is NeoVim, so you're going to use :WQ, that'll save, and then
Or capital ZZ.
quit, you will have the new logo on your own personal screensaver. Isn't that neat? You can actually do the same thing with the About screen. You can change the Omarchy icon here, and if you do, and you hop down to About, you'll see it displayed right here with your own setup. This is one of those things that's really magic about Omarchy. It's really magic about Linux in general, that this is your operating system. All of this is just open source. You can hop in at any time if you want to look around and see how things are done. You can hop to the Omarchy path. You can start your NeoVim editor, and you can simply just start browsing and look at, oh, I wonder how the screen recording is done, for example. All of this is done in Bash, almost all of it, and it is really easy to look. I would not recommend making changes directly in here in the Omarchy setup, because then you're going to deal with potential conflicts when you upgrade, but you can certainly make all the changes inside of the config area, and we have actually hooked that up really neatly. If you hop back into the Omarchy menu and you hop down to Setup, I'm just going to show you some of these other things, but if you hop down to config, for example, you'll see all the main configuration files are hooked up for you to jump into. These are the ones that live in your own home directory under .config. So if we wanted to change the idle, for example, like how long should it take before the screensaver starts? We could make that 250 seconds instead of 150. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to quit out. But if you do that from this menu, then the changes will be immediately apparent. So let me actually show you that. I'll hop down to config. I'll hop down to the way bar. That's that top bar that you see up there. And let's say I don't really want the clock. I don't want the clock in here, so I'm just going to remove that from the module center here, pull that out, and now as soon as I quit, I can do that on space QQ. Boom, the clock is gone. Let's add it back though. I like the clock. So we hop back into the way bar, and I'm just going to hit U here to restore it, and I'm going to quit out again. Now the clock is back. All of these configuration files right there for you to change. But let's keep going through the setup here, because there's some curious stuff. We've been trying to lean into the whole TUI aesthetic, so a lot of these things are TUIs. If you're hopping under the audio configuration,
That's a good point. Did I miss that he's working for them since he keeps saying we? Yeah, I don't know if, I mean, I'd imagine he means like himself and the contributors is my guess. Like they have 150 contributors. We should look at the Git short log to see, actually, kind of want to look, I'll look at the Git short log. We'll see who's got their hands dirty in there.
Configuration, for example, and you can use tab to jump between the different segments. You can see here I have a cam link attached, I have my Shure microphone, and I can change these back and forth.
True, it is a Basecamp repo. Wait, is this company? This is his? Oh, you're right, dude. Yeah, it must be. That's kind of cool. Wait, I like that he's getting paid to work on this. That's nice. That's pretty sick. I really do feel like there needs to be like we need a little software revolution. Okay, we need people to be able to like work on open source shit full time. That'd be very cool. It's his own initiative. Yeah, I do know that. I just like that he's able to, like, him and anyone else who's working on it, like they get paid to work on it. I think that's pretty cool.
On which is going to be the default. I can hit D here, and the little diamond's going to move. I'm not going to do that because that's going to break everything off. I use my wonderful LXX2 speakers, and I have those set as the default. So that's where you do that. And if you just hit Q, you will quit out. We can also set up our Wi-Fi. I have it set up here. You jump between the different sections on tab, and if you want to select a different Wi-Fi network, you hit space. If you want to turn it off and on, you hit space. And if you're on your station, you can hit S to start scanning for something new. You can also hit question mark, and you can see all the different options that there are. And again, if you hit Q, you quit out. Bluetooth, though, is one of those exceptions. There is a Bluetooth to I'm not quite sure whether I love it. So if you hop into this one, you're actually just going to see a regular old GUI interface. I think this might be the first one I've showed you beside the browser. So those still do exist. It is not like we've ripped out literally everything. You can set up your power profiles. This is not really that relevant on a desktop machine. I'm running my beloved framework desktop here, but if you're on a laptop, you can set it to balance mode, power saver, as you please. Monitors, that's a really good one to take a look at, because by default, Omarchy is set up for Retina class displays. So that means the framework desktop display at 2.8K. That means something like a 5K 27-inch or a 6K 32-inch. If you have something else than that, you're probably going to want to change how the monitor setup is, because otherwise it's going to be too big. Here's a recommendation for running 4K monitors, or here if you're running a low 1080p or 1440p. You can comment these things out and then comment this in, and you'll see something else and quit out again on Space QQ. When you are changing these Hyperland configs, they also update immediately. That's very nice. And some of these other configs that you can change here is the key bindings, for example. I have all of these set up to the kind of web applications that I use, but if you want to change something else, you just hop in under key bindings here. But let's hop out of that. We're not going to change those changes either. Hop back into setup and input. That's a good one as well if you want to change.
Guys, I don't know how much more of this I can watch. Let's put it at like really high speed and then put like hold on. We're gonna put some like classical music behind it. Just kidding. But we'll just observe for a minute. You get my sweet soothing voice instead. All right. Actually, I'll make it like it's like I'm making the video. So it looks like they have a Xcompose file that you can specify your authors, your identification for things. Cool. Oh, see, it is interesting to me that like all of these things are like web, it's all like web documentations. VS Code compatible for the soy boys. Huge. Zig mentioned Elixir. What is Symfony? Dude, I don't know what Symfony is. It's pretty cool. Well, okay. I don't know. Oh, wait. I think this is Gum. Yo, this is Charm, by the way. Huge. Hashtag Charm. Hashtag Charm CLI. That's actually sick. I think that's Gum. 100%. Charm, by the way, that's actually huge. He uses a lot of web apps. Yeah, it looks that way. I guess it is handy having a little package installer like that. Okay, one thing that is driving me a little bit nuts is like all these windows I feel like they're always at different heights. All the pop-ups are always at different heights and different just different positions everywhere. What is this? Oh. AI? Oh no! No, just kidding. By the way, I recently used VHS to record demos for a Neovim plugin. Absolutely loved it. Dude, it's so goated. Freeze is really good too. Freeze is like, I'm pretty sure if, oh yeah. So they built like VHS and Freeze for me. For my videos, my Charm videos, Charm TV. This looks cool though. I do like the way that all the theming stuff. It's really nice. He's got Dropbox going in there. That's pretty sick. Didn't know Dropbox works on Arch. Like I'm sure it does, but I don't use Dropbox, so I wouldn't know. All right, cool. Okay. Okay, thoughts on Omarchy? It looks cool. I like how accessible all of the help menus are. I really like how the theme like cascades into everything. It's pretty sick. I would like to see it kind of like encourage users to I would like to see it kind of like encourage users to get more comfortable tweaking things, if that makes sense. So like I feel like Doom Emacs does this really well where you can use like Alt X and it allows you to search through all of the available commands, but then it also shows like the shortcuts to do those commands. Something similar in terms of like UX, where basically there's the option to kind of like change different settings from a GUI, but then it gives you like a little tip or something like that to like here's another way that you can configure it that feels more kind of like a more traditional Linux experience, because like to me a big part of what makes Linux appealing and worthwhile to sink time into is that it develops some pretty good skills that are very transferable. So to me, if too much of that is abstracted away, then it kind of, not that it defeats the purpose, because obviously Linux is a great operating system, like as is. But I just think that it adds more value for users if you kind of empower them, is my thoughts on that. But yeah, otherwise it looks like a really well thought out system, and obviously the aesthetic looks great. I do like that he's shown some different little ways you can customize it in his video. But yeah, I'd say like in terms of UX, that would be the one thing that I would want, is that I would hate as a user to feel like stuck having to configure things or install packages or whatever a certain way instead of learning the underlying command that's actually being run. So yeah, I guess like, yeah, what I'm trying to say is I really like how plug and play it is, but I think there's also room to improve the UX to kind of allow people to be power users or super users, if that makes sense. He wants it to be plug and play, so you don't need to tweak. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like even with Doom Emacs, like you don't need to tweak it, but it will show you how to, like, the more you use it, you can become a power user and learn how to tweak it just through using it. Do you know what I mean? So that would be the one thing. What else? The screenshot thing looked cool. Let's skip through some of the terminal stuff. What's going on here? Tiny text. Oh, they're installing things. Oh, I think they're probably updating the system or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, it looks really good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it will be a bit more like quote unquote like bloated than other like than obviously if you're doing like Arch from scratch, but it does seem like it could save people a lot of time potentially if they are big into Rising, or they just want things to look nice, or they're coming from a completely different operating system. Like I do think this does a really great job at making a great tiling window manager experience, great Linux experience, like available to the general public, which is something that is good, like a net positive. It's good to like reduce barriers, get more people in the space, get more people using it, and hopefully that also means more funding for the open source projects, including the new Linux. That's what I think. But yeah. Thank you, DHH, and thank you to the community for recommending that I take a look at that. Very cool, very PogChamp of you. I think that's it for today. I think we're just gonna, yeah. Yeah, my only little kind of nitpick on that was yeah, the floating windows jumping around all over the place was not ideal. I think that could be improved, but you know, it's a small thing. All right. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me see who else is live on Twitch, and we'll give him a little raid. Oh, it's just moving. Play some PUBG. You want gaming? Listen, I don't have time for gaming streams right now, but one day we'll bring back Toxic Bunny. I actually meant to for my 50K sub thing, but I have not gotten around to organizing it. So maybe we'll do some gaming at one point. All right, let's see who's live. I'm so hungry. Do a Q&A for 50K? I could do a Q&A. Do you guys want Q&A or okay, wait, we'll do a poll on YouTube and we'll do a poll on Twitch. Let's do a poll. Okay, Q&A or gaming stream or game or I guess I could just do both. I guess in theory I could do both, but okay. Q&A, gaming with viewers, both. All right. We'll ask YouTube as well. All right. This was for 50K sub celebration. Q&A, gaming, both. For people who want it all from life. All right. The poll is up. Whatever you want, you pick. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I will just choose whatever I feel like doing, but it's always nice to know what you guys want. Okay. If there are any mods, VIPs, you guys get priority for raid. Otherwise, you guys can let me know if there's someone you'd like me to raid, aka send all of the viewers to their stream. Ideally, someone who's programming or doing just chatting for nerds. Come on, chat. We can do more votes than this. It's okay. Chat's a little snoozy today. I get it. All right. You guys want Q&A. Big time. Okay, Q&A or both. So far, it's Q&A or both is the consensus. Okay. So I'll try for both. And I'll definitely do a Q&A. So if you want to vote for the Q&A, or like vote, aka like leave questions, maybe I'll do a little post right now, actually. Let me do a little post on my YouTube. All right. Bro, I was using a different keyboard this week and it's got like the Windows layout instead of Mac OS layout, and now I keep switching up my keys. Rated DJ? Oh, that's actually a great call too. Apologies, working. You are totally allowed to have me as background noise. All right. All right, I'm planning on doing a Q&A video. All right. Here. Guys, okay, you can ask your cues here. Hello? Ask your cues. I'll put it in the Discord as well. All right, you guys, ready to DJ? Let's find a little music channel. What keyboard do you use? I'm using the Keychron Q1HE wireless. It's got the Gatorion magnetic switches. It's really good. Very, very smooth. Answer only the most useless questions. I like it. Oh, answer only the most useless questions for the Q&A. Yeah. I'll definitely be ignoring some of your questions. For the drama. Let's see. Guys, I don't know what DJs to raid. But maybe if there's a cool girly pop DJ. What's your second most favorite color? Dude. Okay, this one seems cool, I think. Let's listen to it for a sec. Dude, I'm nervous. Mm. Sachi Riot? Alright, let's do it. Alright. You guys are getting a DJ. This is like way too upbeat for me, but it'll lock some of you in. I'm sure you'll do great. All right. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I will see you next Thursday. Right now, Thursdays are the only scheduled streams for the next little bit. I will update the Twitch schedule to reflect that. If you want to chat in the meantime, there is a Discord where you can hang. And yeah. Otherwise, I'll see you next Thursday, and I will be posting again more regularly on YouTube. We're back from the little hiatus. So yeah. I hope that's it. That's all from me. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Goodbye. Bye-bye.